Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Estate Sale. This one's been hard to get started. I've sat with it for days, weeks really. Not because there's nothing to say, but because there's too much. Lately, grief has been sitting at my table, not just in the homes we walk into each week, not just in the quiet rooms filled with memory, but in my own life too. We recently had to say goodbye to our dog. And if you've ever gone through that, you know it's not just a pet, it's a heartbeat in your home, a rhythm, a quiet companion whose absence rings louder than anything you'd ever expect. The empty bowl, the stillness where there used to be footsteps, the habit of checking for them before remembering they're gone. It broke us. My kids, my wife, me. We tried to be strong for each other, but then something small would trigger it. A toy left in the corner, the sound of the door opening, and we'd lose it all over again. Grief like that doesn't announce itself. It just shows up in the middle of dinner, in the middle of nothing. And all this came on the heels of trying to be there for my best friend, who had just lost his nephew. A beautiful, promising young life gone to suicide. No warning, just absence. The kind that takes the air out of the room. The kind that leaves more questions than anyone will ever have answers for. I watched my best friend search for sense in something that was senseless. Trying to be present for his family while carrying this unbearable weight. It left me aching for him, angry, helpless. Because when someone so full of life disappears like that, it echoes and it shakes you. Even if you weren't close to the one that was lost, you feel the shattering of the people left behind. And if you love those people, you carry that shatter with them. So I was going back and forth in my mind about creating this video. Another friend who's very close to me lost his father. He was a strong man, steady man, one of those people who didn't need to say much to command respect. He showed up when it mattered, quiet, reliable. He worked hard for what he built, never had any fanfare, just present, and now he's gone. And I watched my friend carry that loss with the same quiet dignity his father lived by. But I could still see the weight in his shoulders, in his silence, in the way his eyes searched for something familiar in a world that had suddenly shifted. So yeah, lately grief has been in the room. And I realized this isn't a break from my work. This is my work. Because in estate sales, we don't just move items. We move through stories, through losses, through grief, ours, yours, theirs. We show up for families at a time when nothing makes sense, when the house is too quiet or too full, when the things left behind feel like too much and never enough. We don't always talk about the part because it doesn't show up on price tags, but it's always there, always. Sometimes a family member will stop by during the setup and share stories, funny ones, beautiful ones. Sometimes they cry. Sometimes they just stand in a room, touching a chair or a picture frame, letting the memories crash in. I've learned to let that happen, to make space for it. Because what we do isn't just about clearing a home. It's about walking gently through the lives that filled it. So today's episode is simply about this: showing up in grief, not fixing it, not rushing it, just being there, being steady, being kind, being someone others can trust with what matters most. If you've been through a time like this, where grief sat beside you and someone's presence made that difference, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment below, share what helped you get through. And thank you for watching. Remember, every house tells a story. Every sale holds something unforgettable. As always, like, share, leave a comment, and follow for more Beyond the Estate Sale.